makers of Chase and Sanborn coffee, the superb blend you know is fresh, present the Chase and Sanborn Hour. And your host, Edward Arnold. This is Edward Arnold once again greeting you and extending a hearty welcome to our special guest, Spencer Tracy. On hand are Dorothy Lamore.
Oh, Mr. Arnold.
Just a minute, Charlie.
You might put in a word for my summer stock company.
Your summer stock company?
Yeah.
Why, Charlie, I didn't know you were an impresario.
Let's leave personalities out of this, Mr. Arnold. Do you want to buy some tickets to my show?
Well, not now, Charlie. On hand are Dorothy Lamore, John Carter, Claude, and Clarence Stroud.
Just buy a couple of ducats, that's all I ask of you.
Later, Charlie, please. Robert Armbruster, the Chase and Sanborn Orchestra.
How about a couple of pasteboards, huh?
Afterwards, Charlie, afterwards. Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
I can let you have a couple of good ones down front, too.
All right, Charlie, I'll take 2 tickets just to get rid of you.
Yeah, for 4 tickets, you can get rid of Bergen.
All right, 4 tickets. Now, may I go on?
Yes, go on, yes. But definitely, Mr. Arnold, definitely.
Thanks. We all hope that you will enjoy our show and that throughout the week you will remain our friends as well as friends of Chase and Sanborn.
For 6 tickets, I'll get rid of you.
Say, look, are you going to stop bothering me about those tickets?
I'll stop bothering you when I'm good and ready.
Well...
I'm ready.
All right, Charlie. Johnny Carter sings the jubilant song from the picture A Night at the Opera. Cassie Cassar. Johnny Carter.
There's an old Italian phrase. It's an old Italian craze. Every little bambina learns it the very first day. Every sweet signorina says it the very same way. These funny little words don't really mean a thing. It's just a phrase that nowadays Italians love to sing. Così, it's a wonderful word, tra-la-la-la. When anyone asks you how you are, you stop it to say così, cosa. Così, cosa. If a lady should ask you if you care, you don't have to start a love affair. Say così, cosa. Does it mean yes? No. Does it mean no? Well, yes and no. Così, cosa. Get together and sing tra-la-la-la. It's easy to say, so try today and learn to say così, cosa. Così, cosa. It's a wonderful way, tra-la-la-la. When anyone asks you how you are, the stop is to say, così, cosa, così, cosa. If a lady shall ask you if you care, you don't have to start a love affair. Say così, cosa. Does it mean yes? No. Does it mean no? Yes and no. Così, cosa. Get together and sing tra la 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 la. Così, cosa. Così, cosa.
Oh, Mr. Arnold, how about those tickets?
Well, Charlie, what about them?
Well, do you want to pay me for them today, or would you rather give me the money now?
Well, Charlie, I thought you said they were complimentary invitations.
Well, the invitations are complimentary, but the tickets are 25 cents apiece.
Oh, well, what night are the tickets for, Charlie?
Oh, these tickets are for Monday night.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I can't make it on Monday, but I'll be with you in spirit, Charlie.
Oh, you will, huh?
Yeah.
Do you want your spirit to sit in a 25-cent seat or 50-cent seat?
Charlie, where are you putting on these plays?
Over at Mr. Puffmeyer's barn. We have a summer stock company, Mr. Bergen. A sort of a disrepertory playhouse. Oh. Repertory? Yeah, yes it is, yes it is. Last night we did A Merchant of Venice in 4 acts.
Isn't The Merchant of Venice a 5-act play?
Yes, it is, but the book says Act 5, same as Act 1.
Oh, I see. But, Charlie, that refers to the stage setting.
Oh, does it?
Yes. It means that the scene is the same.
Well, they've already seen the scene once, haven't they, in the first scene?
Yes. But you didn't finish the play.
No?
Why, no.
Well, you're not.
Why, certainly not.
Well, nobody seemed to notice it. I don't know what it was, but they were such an illiterate group.
Oh, they were?
Yes, they really were. I was thoroughly disgusted with the way the audience treated the hero in the play.
Mm-hmm.
They threw a tomato right at his kisser.
Well, that must have been embarrassing.
Yeah. Was my face red?
Well, now, maybe you're attempting something a little too cultural for your audience.
I think so, yes.
Perhaps the play went over their heads.
I don't know. All I know is their aim was better than ours.
Well, did your audience ask you to make a curtain call?
Ask me? They dared me.
Oh. Then it couldn't have been a success.
No. No, it wasn't. I can say that with safety.
Yes.
Mr. Dugan wants to do another play, a Shakespearean play, called 10 Nights in a Barroom.
10 Nights in a Barroom?
Yes, and he wants to do it in one night, and I don't see how we can.
Well, Shakespeare didn't write 10 Nights in a Barroom.
He didn't?
No.
Oh, well, then it must have been that other fella.
That other one?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know.
Shakespeare wrote 12th Night.
Well, that's near enough. What's 2 more nights in a barroom to Dugan?
Well, instead of rewriting Shakespeare, Charlie, why don't you put on an original play?
Well, we did. Thursday night we put on Changing of the Guard by Mamie Dugan.
Oh, I see. Changing of the Guard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The old barn hasn't been the same since. The cows are still talking about it.
Well, what was the play about?
Well, in the opening scene, 3 soldiers marched out, see?
Yes.
And they fire their guns, see, straight up in the rafters.
I see.
Yeah, and 3 chickens dropped dead.
A remarkable shot.
Yes, I think we won the Pulitzer Prize.
All right.
Mamie played the part of a flower girl.
Oh, I see. Well, that's usually a sympathetic part.
Yes, she was supposed to be very sad and cry real tears, but she couldn't do it.
Well, couldn't you make her cry?
Yeah, well, we kicked her in the shins, but it didn't work, so we put glycerin in her eyes for tears.
Oh, glycerin tears.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, I see.
Skinny suggested nitroglycerin. But we were afraid she'd blow up in her lines.
All right. Charlie, you really don't expect people to pay money to see that kind of nonsense, do you?
Well, the other night a man didn't want to go home even after the show was over.
Was he that impressed?
No, he couldn't find his shoes.
Oh, I see. Tell me, Charlie, can you really make expenses down there?
Oh, yes, we do, yes. We sell eggs, too, you know, and that helps. Of course, we get them back again. It's messy, but there's money in it.
Well,
yes, that is.
Do you make more on the eggs or more than you do on the admission?
No, we really make more on the milk.
Oh, I see.
We have a cow that gives 6 quarts of milk a day.
Oh.
And we sell from 10 to 12 quarts during intermission.
You do? I thought the cow gave 6 quarts of milk a day.
Yeah, well, it's, yeah. Well, can we help it if it rains? Oh,
Charlie, this all sounds so ridiculous. I believe I'll have to come down and see a performance.
Oh, do, Mr. Bergen, do. I can give you a good seat right down in front in the stalls.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And how much are the stalls?
They're 25 cents. And 10 cents extra if we chase the cow out. Oh, I see. How are you about those things? Fussy?
Oh, no, that's all right.
Nice to know, you know. There are only a few stalls left.
Doing good business.
Oh, we're just buzzing right along. But buzzing.
I see, yes. Now, Charlie, it really isn't a financial success, is it?
Yes, it is. It really is.
Yes.
the remarkable part of it. Well, how much did you make? Well, now you take Monday. Monday, Monday. No, I don't think we'll take Monday. That was a bad day.
It was.
Yeah. Nobody came.
Nobody came on Monday.
No. Let's take Tuesday. Do you mind?
All right, we'll take Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday, Tuesday. The attendance dropped off a little on Tuesday.
Well, what about Wednesday?
Well, on account of we couldn't get the cows out of the barn, we couldn't get the people in on Wednesday on account of...
Oh, I see, on account of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you take Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
What about Thursday?
Wasn't that a lovely day?
Yeah. I know, but how about business?
Oh, it was awful.
It was awful, yeah. Well, what time does your show start?
Well, we chase the cows out at 7 o'clock, and we start the show at 8.
At 8?
Uh-huh.
I see. And how long do you run the show?
Oh, we keep on playing until the cows come home.
A new song by Irving Berlin is always a treat. One of the newest is from Don Amici's picture, Alexander's Ragtime Band. Now it can be told. Dorothy Lamour tells it.
Now it can be told in all its glory. Now that we have met, the world may know the sentimental story. The greatest romance they ever knew is waiting to unfold. Now it can be told as an inspiration. Every other tale of boy meets girl is just an imitation. The great love story has never been told before. Now it can be told. Told in all its glory. Now we have met, we can let all the world know our sentimental story. The greatest romance they ever knew is waiting to unfold. Now it can be told as an inspiration. Every other tale a boy meets girl is just an imitation. The great love story of our love, my darling, has never been told. But now it can be told.
And here are some facts that every family wants to know.
Facts about the foods you eat are most important, particularly the facts about perishable foods, foods that spoil rapidly. Be sure they're fresh. Insist on fresh eggs, fresh milk, and fresh coffee. Yes, coffee is a perishable food, too, and just like milk and eggs, Coffee must be fresh to be good. Of course, coffee, like other perishable foods, can be preserved. But millions of people prefer freshly roasted coffee, chastened SANBORN dated coffee. Here's why. Coffee is a perishable food. It contains a delicate oil. When your coffee is freshly roasted, this oil carries flavor and aroma you love. But stale coffee can have a rancid taste, bitter and disagreeable. Nobody wants coffee like that, and nobody needs to drink it, for it's just as easy to get freshly roasted coffee, chastened SANBORN dated coffee. To give you this fine coffee freshly roasted, Chase and SANBORN maintain a vast nationwide rapid delivery system. Fast trucks speed the coffee from the fragrant roasting ovens to your grocer, and the delivery date on every bag assures you of getting this fine coffee freshly roasted. Enjoy this superb blend often. Taste its rich, mellow, satisfying goodness. And if you serve iced coffee, the full flavor of freshly roasted coffee is doubly welcome. But hot or iced, you get more pleasure from Chase and SANBORN dated coffee because you're sure of finer coffee freshly roasted. Ask your grocer for a pound tomorrow.
A few years ago, the New York dramatic critics were praising the fine acting of a young man in the Broadway play, The Last Mile. Hollywood heard about it, as Hollywood usually does, and he was soon on a westbound train. His name is, of course, Spencer Tracy, and his excellent performance in Captain's Courageous won him the prize Academy Award. His latest picture is Test Pilot. He is now starring with Mickey Rooney in Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's Boys Town, and I'm sure we'll all be glad to know that he is to play Major Rogers in the picture version of that grand book, Northwest Passage. Spencer Tracy appears in one of the most famous of all newspaper plays, 5 Star Final. He plays the managing editor, and I play the owner of the paper. The owner is, he's not a very nice fellow. So just remember, I'm only acting, won't you? Spencer Tracy in 5 Star Final.
Extra, read all about it. What do you read there, mister?
Gazette.
Gazette. There you are, first one I sold today.
Right.
Extra.
Now, Mr. Randall, here are the latest circulation figures. Monday, 302,000. Tuesday, 301,000. Wednesday...
Yeah, I know. If you let me print the stock market prices, the Gazette would be the only tabloid in town to get the sucker list.
That is definitely contrary to the policy of the paper. Ever since I bought it, we have succeeded because our policy has been, frankly, a sensational one.
All right, so the circulation is down, so what?
My boy, the life and blood of a newspaper today is circulation. In our type of paper, we must have mass circulation. Editors have a tendency to get on a pedestal above their readers.
If I sat on a cigar box, I'd be above ours.
Randall, I've invested something like $7 million in paper, which keeps me quite away from sentimentalism. Now, I believe we can raise our circulation and at the same time be dignified about our sensationalism.
Sensational but dignified, huh? That's the neatest trick of the week. How do you work it?
By having our sensational stories written in such a way that they point a moral. Oh, that reminds me. I was just talking to Brannigan and French about a new serial I have in mind. It's the inside story of the Nancy Voorhees case. You remember, the stenographer that shot her boss?
Oh, sure, I remember. Covered it for the old New York press. Shot a guy named Bill Rogers, candy manufacturer. They called him the Chocolate King. Yeah, that must have been about 15 years ago.
Exactly 20 years ago next week. Now, I've had a good writer on it.
You're not going to spread that story all over the place again?
Well, why not? We haven't had any good murders in a long time. We might as well resurrect an old one. It's new to the younger generation, and it might teach them a lesson.
Okay, you're the boss.
I'll tell you, we'll call it the love-mad stenographer. Yeah, I like this serial idea, Randall. I expect a lot from it.
Don't worry, I'll give you the reddest display you ever saw.
Ah, that's what I like to hear. It's like old times.
Hello, give me the morgue. Well, we'll start in next... Hello, Jim. Jim, get me all the clips you can on Nancy Voorhees. Nancy Voorhees. Didn't you ever hear of her? She shot a guy 20 years ago. Find out where she is now. She got married. Ask the district attorney's office. If they don't know, try headquarters. And see what pictures they've got.
Hello, Ziggy. Get this. Nancy Voorhees married Michael Townsend, assistant cashier, Metropolitan National. Lives 1084 West 172nd, 4th floor rear. She got a daughter, 20. You got that? I don't care how you do it, but I want an interview. Find out what church they go to. Where's her daughter? What school did she attend? And get this. I want to whoop this up, and I want pictures. Yeah, that's it. Her name now is Mrs. Michael Townsend. Michael.
Look at this paper. Beginning Monday, the New York Evening Gazette will publish the first installment of the notorious Nancy Voorhees murder. Michael, what can we do?
Now, don't worry, Nancy. They don't know your name now. And they don't know where we live. We might go away somewhere.
They'd find us. Oh, and this should happen just when Jenny's getting married. We can't keep it a secret any longer. She'd find out. I know she would.
Well, maybe they can be appealed to.
Oh, Michael. Michael.
Mr. Hinchcliffe's office.
I'd like to speak to Mr. Hinchcliffe.
Who's calling, please?
Tell him Nancy Voorhees is calling.
Mr. Hinchcliffe, Nancy Voorhees is calling.
Nancy Voorhees? I switched the call to Mr. Randall's office.
Operator, will you put this call on Mr. Randall's wire? Mr. Randall's office.
May I speak to him, please? This is Nancy Voorhees.
It's Nancy Voorhees, Mr. Randall.
Oh, you better tell her I'm not in.
But, Mr. Randall, you can't. It's too callous.
All right. I'll take it. Hello?
Mr. Randall, this is Nancy Voorhees. You know why I'm calling. I want you to stop this story. I'm not asking for myself. Please believe that. But my daughter is being married today.
Yes, I know.
If you print that story, it will ruin her life. Will you make this sacrifice? Will you please?
Miss Voorhees, I'd like to,
There are so many other things to write about.
I can't do anything about it. It's published and the papers are on the street.
What? What?
I can't go on with this. If she calls again, Miss Taylor, tell her I'm not in.
Extra. Nancy Voorhees going to marry. Extra. Murderer's going to marry Philip Weeks. Extra.
What? What's that? Here, give me a paper.
See you, mister.
Mrs. Townsend, I cannot permit this marriage. If I'd ever dreamed that you were Nancy
Mr.
Voorhees...
Weeks, that was so long ago.
That is final. My son will not marry your daughter.
Nancy Voorhees kills herself. Nancy Voorhees kills herself. Get your cassette. Extra.
Well, Mr. Hinchcliffe, have you read your paper yet?
Randall, what's the matter with you?
Nancy Voorhees killed self. You know that's a lie, don't you? It should read the Evening Gazette kills Nancy Voorhees.
Now, just calm yourself, Randall. I know you're touched by what has occurred, and nevertheless, a great newspaper transcends the individual.
A great newspaper. You know very well that Nancy Voorhees committed suicide because we dug up that story.
Randall, there are several ways of looking at this. You've been in the business long enough to know that sentimentality...
It's not sentimentality, it's just sense. And if you print this serial now...
I'm not only going to print it, but I'm going to get a signed story from the daughter.
Yeah, I suppose she's been down here begging you to print it.
Well, no, but I think it can be arranged for a consideration.
For a consideration. Now you're going to buy her off.
You should know yourself that this would be a great thing for circulation, and I'm in this business to make money.
So am I. No one can accuse me of running a school of journalism newspaper. I'm not a crusader or an uplifter. I make money for myself by making money for the paper.
Let's have no excitement now.
You ought to know very well that for every moron who will buy this paper because of a first-person story by Nancy Voorhees' daughter, there will be intelligent advertising men who won't buy space.
Mr. Hinchcliffe,
What is it?
there's a young lady to see you. It's Nancy Voorhees' daughter.
I think perhaps it would be better to see her in another time.
You got a proposition to make to her, haven't you?
It would be most unwise to see the girl now. She's probably hysterical.
Yeah. Well, you're going to see her. Send her in, Miss Taylor.
Randall, you know you're making a mistake.
A mistake, huh? You're going to run this serial, aren't you? You're going to try to get a first-person story, aren't you? All right, we'll put it up to the girl.
I refuse to see your point of
Whether
view.
you refuse
I don't
to
think
see
you know
my
anything
point of view...
Which of you is Mr. Hinchcliffe?
I am. Miss Townsend, you caught us at a very busy moment. Wouldn't you like to wait in my office? There we could be quiet.
You've got a proposition to make to this girl. Let's get it over with.
Well, let me begin by saying how sorry, how dreadfully sorry we are for your misfortune. You see, newspapers are huge, impersonal machines. They are the great mirrors that reflect the world as it passes.
Mr. Hinchcliffe, why did you kill my mother?
Do you think that you could ever begin to understand the position of so complex a machine as a newspaper?
Why did you kill my mother?
Go ahead and answer. If you don't, I will.
You're only adding to the confusion, Randall. I don't know why you choose a time like this.
You're going to know a great many things before this day is over. My girl, we killed your mother for purposes of circulation. He killed her, and I killed her. And the smaller fry aided and abetted the murder to amuse a gang of illiterates. Now, that's the answer, and that's the only answer there is.
Answer? Do you know that yesterday my mother was living?
Miss Townsend, please. Will you please believe that...
That you're sorry. Do you think I care what you feel? You've killed my mother and driven away from me the only other human being I ever loved. And now you say you're sorry. Where's my mother now? Where is she?
Miss Townsend, there's nothing we can do or say now.
Miss Taylor, I think you'd better take her out, if you please.
Yes, Mr. Hinchcliffe. Come along, Miss Townsend.
Now, Hinchcliffe, what are you going to do about your Nancy Voorhees cereal?
We'll decide that later, Randall.
We'll decide it here and now.
Has this paper changed hands? I'm still the owner here. Am I going to tell you exactly what this newspaper is going to do? We're going to print that cereal, and if you have any qualms about following the policy of the Gazette...
There's just one difference between you and me, Hinchcliffe. You thought up these murders. I committed them. I did it for wages. You did it for circulation.
Now, look here, Randall.
No, I'm through taking your money. And I'm through running a dirty vaudeville show for nincompoops and morons. That's who we killed that woman for. This is your engine, Hinchcliffe, and I'm handing it back to you. But before I do, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of it.
Why, you must be completely mad.
I am, and all my life I'll be mad, because all my life I'll see that girl standing there and asking me why I killed her mother. Well, now I want you to enjoy that picture with me. I want you to wake up at the night and see your own squashy little soul. I want you to know that every human being that works for you knows you for the hypocrite that you are. We all know it, and we take your money and do your work because we're afraid to starve.
I assume that you've said all that you wanted to say, Mr. Randall?
Don't bother firing me. I'm leaving.
Extra, Evening Gazette. Extra. Paper, mister? Evening Gazette?
Yeah, I'll take a Gazette. I'll take all you've got. Here's $5 for you.
Gee whiz. Thanks, mister. Hey, what are you going to do with all them papers?
I'm going to take great pleasure in throwing them one by one down the nearest sewer.
Chase and Sanborn Hour with Spencer Tracy, Edward Arnold, Edgar Bergen, and Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, John Carter, the Stroud Twins, and Robert Armbruster and the Chase and Sanborn Orchestra continues in just a moment.
When love walked in,
A gay, lilting Spanish love song. John Carter sings Eres Tu, which means simply for you.
en el mundo muy lindos ojos, pero vos solos con sus miradas me hacen soñar. Con su dulzura cuando me miran, el el paraíso me hacen probar. Hay en el mundo mil lindos labios, pero dos solos saben besar. Y esos ojos y esos labios son tuyos, mi alma, son tuyos, mi alma para enebriar. Perfuma embriagador y son sus pétalos de terciopelo que al tocarlos para ofender los locos de amor. Hay en el cielo muchas estrellas, pero una sola sabe brillar. Y esa flor y esa estrella eres tú, mi alma, con mi camino es de alumbrar.
Bravo, Johnny, bravo. That was singing par excellence. Bravo, bravissimo, huh?
Bravo is right, Edward. Your choice of expressions bespeak the fact that you are a true cosmopolite, a connoisseur, a boulevardier.
Who, me?
Yes, Edward. You are a bon vivant, full of savoir-faire and joie de vivre.
Am I?
You certainly are.
Well, we can't all be perfect.
I was merely pointing out, Claude, that Edward must be a citizen of the world, a well-traveled man.
Well, Clarence, I have been around a little bit. I've done my share of traveling, and...
There you are, Claude. I was right. I have discovered a new aspect in Edward's character that we never suspected. I've just discovered a new side to him.
Stick a flag in him and claim it for the United States.
I was speaking figuratively, Claude. Travel is a wonderful thing. The true traveler really abandons himself. To live lazily in London, toy with trinkets in Trinidad, Roomba rhythmically in Rio.
Baked beans in Boston.
Well, I once tickled a tuna in Tampa.
If it isn't asking too...
Did you ever bite a bologna in Butte?
No. No, but I busted a bed in Buffalo.
If you fellas have finished your foolish falderall, I should like to continue.
Now, go ahead, Clarence. Tell us all about your globe-trotting. Have you been to many faraway places?
Frankly, yes, Edward. I have sailed the 7 seas and visited the 4 corners of the earth. I've traveled by rail, by boat, by plane.
And by request.
Claude, I should think that you'd be proud of your brother's journeying.
Claude, don't you ever feel the urge to escape from the humdrum routine of your workaday world? Come with me. Let me show you the vagabond life. I'll pack a grip. We'll climb mountains, explore valleys, cross rivers. Will you come with me?
What's in the grip?
That makes no difference.
Claude, doesn't the mere mention of strange lands make your heart beat faster?
Doesn't it quicken your pulse? Doesn't it make you tingle?
My foot's asleep, that's what you mean.
That most certainly is not what I mean.
Still asleep.
Did you ever hear the call of the open road or feel the longing for salt spray in your face? Doesn't it uplift you? Doesn't it carry you away?
My whole leg's asleep now. Yeah.
Claude,
creeping up on me.
You seem to be strangely lacking in the spirit of adventure. I, at least, have seen the interesting things the world has to offer and have found many charming customs among the peoples I visited. For example, do you know that when Eskimos kiss, they rub noses?
So do I. You can't help it.
No, Claude, they do not kiss with their lips as we do. They merely rub their noses together, although very few people know why.
Maybe they want to start a fire.
Gentlemen, let's not jest about the Arctic. Why, its natural phenomena alone has held explorers spellbound. The weird lights of the aurora borealis, the nights that are 6 months long.
6 months long? Boy, I'd hate to be a night watchman there.
Can I go out after dinner and play for a couple of months?
Yes, but remember, you've got to be in bed by January.
Edward,
Oh, you said I could stay up until February tonight.
All right, you can stay up until February, but not a week longer.
If you will only give me...
Johnny's mother lets him stay up way after March.
It seems the only way we can get out of this discussion is to leave the Arctic.
And so, with deep regret in our hearts, we leave the Arctic, land of the midnight sun. Boarding our boat, we sail forth to new adventures.
Watch for these interesting features at your neighborhood theater.
As a matter of fact, your levity illustrates my point. The quaint customs of the world do unfold like a fascinating picture before us. In certain parts of Africa, for instance, when a girl asks a man to marry him, why, they signify it by hitting him over the head with pots and pans.
What's that for?
Just so he can take it, I guess.
No, Claude. After she has beaten him with pots and pans, the bridegroom knows that she loves him.
When he comes to, yeah.
Custom demands that she perform these strange rites, thus showing him that she is well able to cook for him. The young man then pours melted butter over the bride's head, thus showing her...
Which side her head is buttered on.
And she really needs a bridal shower after that.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Edward, but the customs of Africa are not only the outstanding attraction. I might point out that one of the few remaining places where wild animal life still abounds is on the African veldt.
What?
The veldt, the grassy plains. Africa stretches out, veldt after veldt.
Which veldt were you on?
To tell you the truth, Edward, I don't know which veldt, I can see the futility of further discussing Africa.
And so, with deep regrets in our hearts, we leave Africa. Climb aboard our pots and pans and sail through golden waves of melted butter toward the setting veldt.
Next week, we give away a complete set of butter knives.
You may poke fun at me, Claude, but you cannot overlook the fact that our beloved ancestor, Sir Lyceum Strad, was one of the world's greatest travelers. Alas, however, he was unheralded, unsung.
Unshaved.
Ah, Sir Lyceum, I can hardly wait to hear more about the old boy. Where did he travel, Clarence, and why didn't he shave?
Sir Lyceum spent much of his time in Asia. He was held in such high esteem by the people of Asia that whenever they were in trouble...
I know. They consulted Sir Lyceum.
Right, Edward, and whenever there was a point of law to be defined...
Allow me again, Clarence. They asked Sir Lyceum.
Thank you, Edward, and whenever there was anything missing...
They searched Sir Lyceum.
Claude, you are desecrating the memory of Sir Lyceum. Why, in Hindustan, he was the first white man ever given an audience with the great Buddha. And that was when Sir Lyceum uttered those famous words...
Buddha, can you spare a dime?
This Lyceum fellow must have been quite a character, Clarence.
Indeed he was, Edward. We owe a lasting tribute to Sir Lyceum. I salute him.
And so it is with deep regret in our hearts that we follow Sir Lyceum's map and sail through his beard in search of new places.
Next week, we give away free Buddha knives and Sir Lyceum.
It is evident that no one here appreciates the value of travel.
Oh, I do, Clarence. I think it's so educational. Where do we go from here?
Well, for a delightful country, Dorothy, might I suggest Switzerland? It has many quaint customs, foremost of which is yodeling.
Oh, I like yodeling. I think it's wonderful to see a grown man with his voice changing.
Oh, yodeling. That's just a trick, Dorothy. Anybody can do it. Listen to this.
Will you break a lease for me, Ed?
Oh, I like that. Let me try it. Was that any good?
6 mountain goats just came in.
You are employing the incorrect technique. You must have complete control, like this. Oh, the little lay.
Just blew a tonsil. Let's go home.
A song about the inadvisability of continuing the status quo. Sounds like Clarence. Anyway, the song is There'll Be Some Changes Made. The changer, Dorothy L'Amour.
Change in the weather and a change in the sea. From now on there'll be a change in me. My walk will be different, my talk and my name. Nothing about me gonna be the same. I'm gonna change my way of living. If that ain't enough, I'll change the way that I strut my stuff. Nobody wants you when you're old and gray. There'll be some changes made today. There'll be some changes made. The fashions, a change in the shoes. Here's the way we sing the blues. We all must make changes from old to new. I must do things just the same as others do. I'm gonna change my way of talking, and not only that, I'll change the number where I'm living at. I'm not over 60 and I'm here to stay. There'll be some changes made today. There'll be some changes made.
That was lovely, Dorothy. Charlie, I want you to meet Spencer Tracy. You two Academy Award winners ought to get together. Spence, meet Charlie McCarthy.
Hiya, Charlie. You know, I've admired your work for a long time.
You have?
Sure.
Oh, I think I'm going to like him. Mr. Tracy, permit me to return the compliment.
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
Yes, sir. You did some fine acting in Robin Hood.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh.
I wasn't in Robin Hood.
No? Well, it was a good picture anyway. But I remember you. You've been in a picture, haven't you? I know you have. It was that fishy picture, you know, that...
Oh, you mean Captain's Courageous?
That's the one, yes. Oh, Mr. Tracy, if I were given to bragging, I would tell you that I got an Academy Award, too. You know that, don't you?
No, I didn't know that. Really?
Yes. Well, you don't have to act so surprised about it. It's possible.
Well, you didn't get a regular award, did you?
No. Mine wasn't an ordinary award like yours, but a special one. It was a statue carved out of wood. Yours wasn't hand-carved, was it?
No, mine wasn't carved.
I didn't think so.
Mine wasn't wood.
No.
Mine was just gold.
Just gold. I get it, a dig. Well, you got to keep polishing yours all the time, don't you? I don't.
Well, at least I don't have to spray mine for termites.
Yeah. He's begging for it. My statue will last for years. Why, some of the most important works of art are carved out of wood. Well, take a totem pole, for example.
Yeah, or take even you.
Yeah. Mr. Tracy, the fires of friendship are turning to clinkers. Come to think of it, I didn't even see you when they gave out the awards at the Academy dinner.
Well, I wasn't there.
Oh, wouldn't they let you in?
Certainly.
I see. You didn't have a tuxedo. Oh.
I was sick, so Mrs. Tracy accepted the award.
Well, she deserved it, too. I remember Mrs. Tracy. Now, there's a fine woman.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, I don't like to say anything, but she practically intimated that I should have been given that gold statue.
Oh.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Well, you know, I think, Charlie, it's entirely up to the judges to make those decisions.
Yeah, and I might say they're getting awfully careless lately.
Yes. The more I talk to you, the more I'm inclined to agree with you.
Thank you. Or should I thank him? I'll think that crack out later.
Now that we're getting down to it, just what have you done in the acting line that's worthwhile?
I'm glad you asked me. You come down to Puffmeyer's barn, and you can see one of our performances. You might get a few pointers.
Oh, a stock company, huh?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, summer stock is a good experience for beginners.
Yes, it is. And what I mean is it wouldn't hurt you. I got that one in.
Why, I'll come down to your stock company and I'll show the whole bunch of you up.
Yeah? Well, you better bring that statue along with you. It won't hurt to flash it now and then when the going gets tough.
Well, what do? Wear yours around your neck?
Never mind what I do. Have you got a catcher's mask?
Yeah.
Well, bring that along, too. The stage is only an egg's throw from the audience, and they do throw.
Is the audience that tough?
Why, they even booed me.
Oh, well, they're not tough. They're intelligent. I'll wow them.
Yeah, with what? What can you do? Can you dance?
No.
Oh, you can't dance. Can you juggle?
No, I can't juggle.
Can't juggle. Well, there must be something you can do. Can you milk a cow?
No. But I can sing.
You can sing. Uh-huh. I see. Well, I don't know. Should I or shouldn't I? Whatever I get, I deserve, I know now. Oh, I guess I will. Go ahead. Give us a demo-test of it. And if it's good, we could use it. 10 to 1, it ain't.
All right, now, here's my favorite song.
I hope so.
Now, listen to this.
Yes.
Don't cry, little fish, don't cry. You'll be a big fish by and by.
Yeah.
Charlie, will that do?
Yes. Yes, that will do. Yeah. I was afraid it would be just about like that. There'll be no singing for you. How are you on reading lines, I hope?
Listen now, if it's drama you want, I've got that.
Oh, sure.
And if it's romance, I've got that, too.
Oh, says you.
Good.
Sure.
Listen to this. Listen.
I'll try, yeah.
Oh, my darling, I've missed you so much. Life is but an empty shell without you. Where have you been?
I've been down in the basement washing.
Maybe we better stick to heavy drama.
Yeah, can you give me a little of that villain stuff?
Oh, sure.
Full force.
Sure. Come a little closer and I will hit you with my fist.
That's villain, Uh-huh. Would you mind doing it again, even giving it a little more?
Yes.
A little tougher.
Yeah. Come a little closer and I'll hit you with my fist.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. I don't know what to say. You are Spencer Tracy, aren't you? Yes. Well, they sure are getting careless with those awards. Let me give you a sample, Mr. Tracy. Why, listen, you cow-eyed, worm-faced, poor excuse for a man. I'll sock you so hard it'll take 3 days for your shadow to find you.
Now, wait a minute. Nobody can talk to me that way.
Well, I was just...
Why, you little fugitive from a buzzsaw?
Now, wait a minute.
You've been popping off at the mouth a little too much for your own good.
But I was only demonstrating...
Talking to me that way is the same as taking poison, only I do it quicker.
I was acting. You don't understand. Now, wait a minute now. Yeah. Let's use discretion.
Don't talk discretion to me. It's too late for discretion.
It was only for your own good. I was just showing you. You wouldn't hurt me, would you?
No, I wouldn't hurt you. I wouldn't. No. All I'm going to do to you is just wrap your arms around your neck,
now, Mr. Tracy,
break every twig in your body, and hang a lead weight on you and drop you in the deepest part of the ocean.
Help, skinny, stinky. Stinky.
Your pals won't help you any now.
Oh, Henry, wow. Well, why don't you pick out someone your size, you big bully?
Charlie, Spencer, what is this?
He pulled a knife on me. That's what he did.
What do you want, Arnold?
Spencer, aren't you ashamed of yourself talking to Charlie that way?
Let's telling him.
I'll put a stop to this fight.
No, who asked you about him, Mr. Arnold? Did he hit you, Spencer?
Who, that guy?
Yeah, say a word, Spencer. I'll pop him one for good luck.
And as for you, Charlie, you'd better mind your manners, and you might try keeping quiet while others are talking.
Now, wait a minute. Don't start picking on my pal McCarthy.
No.
It's a fine state of affairs when two Irishmen can't talk without being interrupted.
Yeah, sure, and if it's a shillelagh I had, I'd be using it on his head, I'd be using it.
Sure, and if I could lay me hands on a brick, it's not far behind you, I'd be.
Yeah, not a brick, not a club around here. I've never seen such a clean place. Come on, Spence. Let's go out and get a split of double malted milk.
Okay.
Don't cry, little fish, don't cry. You'll be a big fish by and
Now, all our listeners will want to make the most of this timely information.
Coffee is a perishable food. That's something to remember. And just as most of us prefer new-laid eggs and sweet milk fresh from the dairy, we also prefer freshly roasted coffee rushed from the fragrant roasting ovens. And while many perishable foods, including coffee, can be preserved, millions of people prefer coffee they know is freshly roasted. Chase and Sanborn dated coffee. Remember, freshly roasted coffee is delicious. Stale coffee can become rancid tasting, harsh and unpleasant. But freshly roasted coffee is always a delight. And nowadays, it's easy to get a superb blend of coffee freshly roasted. To provide coffee lovers everywhere with freshly roasted coffee, Chase and Sanborn maintain a far-reaching rapid delivery system. Your coffee, freshly roasted, is rushed to your grocer from a nearby roasting oven. And the delivery date plainly marked on every bag is your assurance of freshness. Enjoy Chase and Sanborn dated coffee every day. Remember, you get this rich blend at its best, freshly roasted. Taste its full, delicious flavor. That's important for good hot coffee. And in iced coffee, where melting ice dilutes your drink, you especially need the big, full flavor of freshly roasted coffee. But hot or iced, to get coffee as it should be, at the peak of its goodness, be sure your coffee is freshly roasted. And when you think of freshly roasted coffee, think of Chase and Sanborn dated coffee. Buy a pound from your grocer tomorrow.
From the first act of Puccini's opera Tosca, the aria Recandita Monia. Our tenor is John Carter of the Metropolitan Opera Company.
Gloria, insieme con la fonde, ma nel ritrovo sei, il mio solo pensiero, il mio solo pensiero sei tu.
And that brings us around to the end of another Chase and Sanborn Hour, an hour made possible by your purchases of Chase and Sanborn coffee. That's the best way to tell us you enjoy our show. Next week, another big Chase and Sanborn Hour. As a special guest, we've invited a leading contender for this year's Academy Award, Miss Fay Bader, who gives such a great performance in White Banners. The rest of us will all be around, too. Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, John Carter, Dorothy Lamour, Gordon Clarence Stroud, and Robert Armbruster and his orchestra. Until next Sunday, then, so long.
Be with us again next week at the same time for another Chase and Sanborn Hour. Fay Bader, Edward Arnold, Edgar Bergen, Charlie McCarthy, Dorothy Lamour, John Carter, the Stroud Twins, and Robert Armbruster and the Chase and Sanborn Orchestra. Heard on this program was The Big Show by Jerome Kern. This is Wendell Niles speaking for the makers of Chase and Sanborn Coffee. This is the National Broadcasting Company.